I'm really excited to see this grow. This is one of the first organizations in Nova Scotia that I came looking for were the Halifax Tides, I'll see, because
It's so important.
it also women in sport is important, period.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. And women in sport is important for so many fundamental reasons. It creates pathways, of course, for women at young ages, but that doesn't necessarily mean in sport. It means in life. I think the number is 98% of women that actually sit in C-suite positions played in organized sport. Because inherently there's something in team sport that gives you skills around team building and managing people and showing up,
Yeah.
that's inherent to our success. And so building the foundation of a professional sports club, the product is the professional team that we put on the pitch, which is truly exciting because that pathway did not exist. It's right prior to the league, for soccer players. And we have the third largest talent pool globally of women talent, and we didn't have a professional league. So using that as the platform, that's the actual product. But what we're building is much larger than that. It's the foundation for women and girls at a young age to build from the ground up those capabilities, competencies, and confidence, right?
The next generation.
Exactly, to give them every ability to succeed, whether that's in soccer, on the pitch in the front office staff, volunteering, giving back. Any avenue in which we can do that is really super important and is what we're trying to build.
So in that, tell us the story about the team name.
The Halifax Tides.
Yes.
So the Tides, of course, are super important in terms of how we built the overall name. And I'm actually just going to turn our attention to the logo because the name itself and the logo itself has really deep history in terms of Atlantic Canada, but specifically Nova Scotia, and all of the different elements that are in it. I brought a cheat sheet because there's so many elements that are built within the logo that is really hard to even remember them all.
Yeah.
But at the top, the badge itself is built in the likeness of a ship.
Right.
And a ship's hull, which again, being a coastal province, was really, really important to us. The colliding tides are, of course, to represent the tides that we get to enjoy because we're, the ocean playground. But it also signifies the X that's on our provincial logo. And there were a lot of conversations about that online around those tides or why is the X? The X is there because it's to represent Nova Scotia. The 4 pillars are the 4 counties of HRF, right? And that's what these 4 lines represent overall. The moon is an important part of it because the moon controls the tides overall. And this peak at the top is to actually signify a ship's hull. So there's so much meaning that's actually built into the logo itself. The idea behind the tides is the unrelenting pressure of the tides and the force and the strength that comes behind the tides that in Nova Scotia we get to recognize every day. But that's the same atmosphere that we're creating on the pitch with our team. It's really important that we signified that and brought that together. The Taiwan Rise Together is speaking about the rising of the tides overall. But when we talk about, and I say often, you'll hear me talk about we're building a club by the community for the community. And that's the essence and totality that we're going to rise together to make this happen and bring the equity, not just to professional soccer, but to women as a whole in terms of the movement that we're pushing forward with.
Right. So that's the main inspiration behind all of this. So what do you hope to achieve in this first year? If you really wanted to put it into words, what would it be?
In the first year, I want to put a competitive team on the pitch. Like it's no small feat. Talk about acceleration. It's no small feat to launch a professional league and 6 clubs within that league, but to do that within the 8-month period is.
And the third on the roster too, right? Like the third team? The third team?
We were actually the last team to actually sign on. And it's interesting though, because in order to be a league under FIFA regulations, you need 6 clubs. And so Halifax actually cemented the NSL for being a league.
Wow.
Because we were the last group to sign on. And that's interesting. The league is pretty amazing and pretty incredible as well. And while, of course, there's expansion on the horizon and lots of markets that are wanting to be involved, the league is very pays very close attention to those that are actually brought into the league, and ensures that they have the right fit. So it's a rigorous selection process to be awarded the opportunity to have a franchise within the NSL, the Northern Super League.
So when you think about you've already mentioned it's the accelerated action, and this year is the theme of International Wednesday. When you think about accelerated action and you think about the team that has been brought together here, both on and off the pitch, what does that terminology of accelerated action really mean to you if you had to marry those two things together?
If Rise Together was not our tagline, accelerated action would be.
That's awesome.
Because that's exactly what's happening here, naturally. Well, we have a fantastic team at the Tides, both in the front office and the sporting side as well. Um, and, it's about being in the right place at the right time. And for sure, women's professional sports is at the right time right now. And what we're doing with the NSL and the Halifax Tide, it really truly is a movement, not a moment. The moment is happening in terms of people paying attention, and the movement that we're putting forth is very, very important because we're getting the support behind it. We made the decision to run, not walk, for April 2025. And that was a conscious decision, knowing exactly what we were getting into. But we felt that it was the right time to do that, and that women's professional soccer in particular deserved that. And so as a league, all 6 of us said, yeah, let's do it. Let's run at it. We know it's a feat. We know I don't even know if accelerated actually describes it. But we knew it was a feat, but we knew it was the right thing to do. And so at the end of the day, what we can say for certain is that we're building the foundation of something that's great and larger than ourselves. And we're immensely proud of that every single day. And we know that on April 16th, when the league kicks off, that there's going to be some football played. And we're extremely excited to do that. And we know that we're making it accessible to all Canadians through our broadcast partnerships with TSN and CBC, and that we're going to allow folks to actually do part of that. So success for me in year 1 is really getting that team on the pitch and having the league, the professional league with the standards that we're building from the ground up, be in place. And then we can, fiercely compete with each other once we get on the pitch and that side of it turns. But today really is a group of 6 clubs working together to get soccer on the pitch, building the foundation and pathway for women and girls for the future.
Tell me a little bit about your story. How did you come to be the president of Halifax Tides FC?
So I'm an East Coaster. I'm from here. I grew up between New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, Pictou County. I went to UNP Fredericton with dreams of being a corporate lawyer, finance and economics. And like every Nova Scotian does, there's I'm going to go to Toronto for a minute and get some experience and then come back. So we had a 5-year plan. I had a 5-year plan to go to Toronto and get some experience and come back. Well, that didn't happen. Career and life happened, and I had a very fortunate career of a lot of great experiences that allowed me to lead large businesses for Canada, and also to remain able to professional sports, and have the opportunity to work with probably every major professional sports league and club in the Canadian marketplace, that really ignited something in me. There was a passion in me around the power of sport, what you learn through sport, and how that translates into business, and the interconnection between the passion for sport that every single human has, and how you can bring that to life from a business perspective and support your community and your business at the same time. And that intersection was something that was really, really unique to me. And very early in my career at PepsiCo, I was introduced to that kind of thinking, and I brought it along with me throughout my career and had the opportunity to work with fantastic folks within the professional sports arena. My family and I didn't take 5 years, we took 25 years, but we decided to move back home about a year and a half ago. And I was working in Nova Scotia, having a lovely time, and then Courtney Sherlock, our founder and owner, said, let there be a club in Halifax. And I literally could not turn my attention away from this movement that was happening, being so involved within professional sports, and watching the work that Diana Matheson was putting forth and seeing that happen and to watch it unfolding here in Halifax was truly exciting to me. And so I had to talk to her. I had to learn more. I was inspired by Courtney and what Courtney was doing, and how she was leading that path. Definitely rung true to me in terms of who I am as a person and how I shown up, and how Courtney was taking this and running with it really, really spoke to me. And so I stuck out to speak to her, and we met and we chatted, and from there, it's let's do this thing, let's do it together. And we didn't look back. So that was April last year, when we had the first conversation. I joined the club officially end of June. By the time I got all of the rest of the pieces all sorted and ready to join the club, and if not looked back, I'm not sure if I've slept since then, but I've not looked back, and we've been running ever since.
Yeah, I wondered about that as we've been corresponding and getting together to do this interview. I just wondered when you do sleep with everything that's going on.
Our first game will be a home game here in Halifax at the Wanderers grounds on April 26th. So I am preparing to sleep on the 27th of April.
So is that what makes you the most excited?
Yeah, look, that's the goal that we're running at right now, and I would love to tell you that's what makes me the most excited, but there have been moments throughout this journey where I wasn't prepared for the feeling and the emotion. When we had our selection camp back in the fall, early winter, was a moment. When the team showed up at the athletes started showing up at the airport was another moment. When training camp started and the team was on the pitch in their training gear was another moment. Like there's just all of these moments that, I that wasn't the goal that I was running at, but they are just reinforcement along the way. So yeah, I'm definitely running towards getting the team on the pitch and everything sorted and playing some soccer. But it's incredible through the journey, the pieces that cause you to just take a moment and pause and see it all to come together. And it's incredibly motivating. It's incredibly impactful. And I feel lucky that I get to be a part of it. And so, yeah, like I'm good to go. I'm happy to keep running till the 27th and beyond, because this role and what we're doing and everything that we're running towards matters to me and matters to my team. And it's not for the faint of heart for sure, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's been an absolute amazing experience.
Well, it certainly sounds like you're accelerating your actions every day with what you're doing and what the team is doing here, both on and off pitch. So it's going to be exciting to watch all of this happen. No, for sure. So tell me a little bit more about community, team and community, and the importance of that, and what Halifax Tides FC really envisions that to look like over not just this year, but in coming years.
Yeah, for sure. Again, I'll say it again. I'm going to say it 55 times. We're building the club by the community for the community, and that's inherent in everything that we do. If you look at our roster, it was incredibly important to us that we had East Coasters and Nova Scotians on our roster because they deserve to be there. And so you're going to see that. Our coaching staff and our team is in market across the Atlantic region every single week. Every time we can be at a community event, we're there. Our coaches will coach local soccer clubs, and they're there. Our players are now showing up as they're here in the market and being present. They're there. And that's important to what we're building. And I talked a little bit about the social takeover that the players took on to themselves this weekend on Instagram. And there was this moment that we and the club have been building this for the community, by the community, and envisioned that. And the players showed up on cue without us asking to, went over and really showed the world what it meant to be a Halifax Tide and how they're showing up together and rising together. And it was a really, really beautiful moment. And so that's how we're showing up today. We ask the community to support us back, support us any way that you can. That can be a like or a follow on social. That could be buying your season tickets. That could be buying our merch and wearing it proudly. Any way that you can support the club and what we're trying to achieve, please do. as we're in our inaugural season. Moving forward, we have big visions in terms of what we're developing. So it is about developing those pathways and working to develop academy programs for people that are equal for all and based on your ability, the talent, and not financial position. To put you on the stage to be part of the Halifax Tides or our national team. And that has been sorely missing in our Atlantic region overall in terms of those pathways. And the Halifax Tide's going to build that for women in soccer and girls in soccer to aspire to, as well as creating an example on the pitch. And then, of course, even in our front office staff and how we develop that, the foundation of what we're building through internships and bringing people in to understand sports and understand business and how we can fulfill that for them and be part of a team and be part of something bigger than themselves is really important. And so offering that within our community to the vast academic foundation that we have in of course Nova Scotia, but all of Atlantic Canada, we open that up as well to empower folks to understand how to get involved and give them those 4 skills. So it really is today about painting the picture and asking those to support us on our vision and our path around building a better future for all through equality and through scores. And as we grow and evolve, you can expect that that continues to be our foundation. And we have big plans to expand on that through academy programs on the sporting side and through building internships on the business side and marketing side. So lots of great pieces that we're working towards in the future. It's not just, we talk about the 26 and getting the team on the pitch. That's the immediate goal. But the longer term vision that we're building is, systemic in terms of trying to build this for the future for people to aspire to and become and want to be a part of.
Awesome. Definitely fulfills the accelerate action.
Yes.
Yeah. It's almost like a definition in itself of accelerate action. Absolutely. Anything else that you wanted to talk about today? I know that you've covered pretty much every question that I had in the conversation that we've had so far, but you've got a group of people back there in right now in the Annapolis Valley that are watching us. Any other things that you would like to say?
The only thing that I would suggest is we're today, as of today, we're 53 days away from kickoff, and my rally cry is to support any way that you can. Help us be part of the movement to bring this not just to Canada but the world. Support the Halifax Tides and do that any way you can. That can be following us on social and engaging us in our pieces. Buy merch, come to the games, buy your tickets. Season tickets are on sale right now. Do everything that you can to support the team in the success. Again, the product that we're showing to the world is a professional team on the pitch of fantastic women that have been put together from around the globe to represent our region. But the movement of what we're creating is so much greater, and the support of the team will help us continue to propel the movement for years and years to come, which is the ultimate goal of the club.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I really wish that you could be with us in person, but
Me too.
I'm so thankful that we've been able to do this and be able to show it this evening.
Oh, well, thank you, and I'm sorry that I can't be there with you in person, but happy International Women's Day, and have a lot of fun.